Boys and girls, I've got a little piece of leatherette loaded up in the laser, and this is the first piece of leatherette that I've done on the new xTool F2. Excuse my mess. It's a working shop. There's a smoke purifier I got sitting right there, so we're gonna see how well that does handling the smell. I know it'll do a good job with the smoke, but we're going to see how it does with the smell and what these are for. Left it over here. I've been giving away these beanies I ordered last year. I have a bunch of them, and I'm making little patches for the front and giving them away to the local kids here. So they messaged me on my Facebook account and with their kids' names, and then I pre-cut these patches on the the P2S, and as the names come in, I just do them up real quick in XCS and engrave them out. Usually I've been using the F1 Ultra, but now that we have the F2, we're going to start doing this more so that we can get some content. And there's the name for this one. I picked the default setting for deep brown PU leather. I did not change anything. So we're going to see how this does together for the first time. And press that and start. Now it's going to be super fast, but we need to see if it's going to be nice and clean or if I have to adjust the settings. So let's see what we get. And there you see the smoke was going away. I had some for a minute, but now it's gone. The smoke detector is linked in with the cable, so it automatically kicks on. And I've got it going in the top, and it just goes out on the floor, spits the clean air out down there. Looks like we're already almost done, and it looks nice. So this is the Wicked Awesome Leatherette from the Heritage line, and it should be alright to touch it. Normally I don't like to touch it, but since we got the bracket in there, it looks like we've got a little bit of I don't necessarily know that that's unprocessed or if it skipped or whatever, I don't know, but there's a little bit of goo there. It's not terribly deep, so I think there's shit. Oh, saved it. I don't have my my gimbals over here. I took it down so I could use the phone, but dropped it and I caught it right at the last second. What I'm doing is using my one fingernail I got left. Yeah, it's not very deep, so which is fine. That just means we have room to run it again. So we'll get it back up in there. Run that twice. Twice might be too much, so let's see. The default settings for that choice of leatherette was 90 power at 500 speed, 120 LPM. I'll probably just bump that to 200, knock that down to 400, and I bet it'll work. So I'll do that on the next one. And I really don't want to run it twice. I want to be able just to do one and done. Alright, so that cleaned it up nicely. That little bit is gone. It did not overdo it. Let's get some light from the monitor here. That's not helping. But yeah, so making y'all dizzy, sorry. But that little bit that was not hit is gone, and we got a little bit of depth in her now. So she is good to go. Yep, I like it. So I mean, in theory, I could just run it twice, right? Maybe cross-hatch it, but it's only to get a rag, wipe up my edges, but this one's good to go. So I'm going to adjust the settings. Let me press pause so I don't have to do a separate video on that or follow up in the comments, and we'll watch that one. So hold on. All right. So with the way I've got this, not really template, but just how I have the file preset, all I have to do is, double click in there, write a new name in, center it, and we're good to go. So it's really quick to do the next name. I'm just holding the phone, so I'm not set up with OBS on this computer yet. But anyway, we've got that. So what I've done for the settings, I went ahead and went with 90 power, 300 speed. This was 500, the power was the same. And I bumped up the LPC to 200 instead of 120. So that alone probably would do it, but I went and slowed this down anyway. If anything, this might be too much, but I know it's not gonna be too little. I don't know shit, we'll find out. But based on my years of wisdom, yeah, so I'm pretty good at guessing. So we'll hit process on that, and that's gonna bump the time to 1:19, so that kind of sucks. I'd rather it go a lot faster. That's because of the LPC bump, honestly. But we'll see. It may be too much. And if it is, then I'll put the speed back up and leave the LPC as it was. Well, we'll sit here for a minute and watch it, because I'm not processing this as a real video yet, so I might. I mean, I was just going to do a quick upload, but maybe I'll put it in the video editor and speed this part up, because who the hell wants to watch this? Actually, I should have done, I'm stupid, I should have just done smart. I'll show you all that on the next one. Actually, we'll make this a slight bit of a tutorial. There's a lot of white space, right? Since I'm doing a border. So the XCS program does have a spot where you can click on smart engraving and the auto pathing, and it'll eliminate it. It'll do all the stuff and things for the better usage of the path of the laser, so it won't have to go all the way across the whole patch, even though it's small. It looks like I got some blowback on there, and I don't normally get that on these Galvo units, so that tells me I got a little too much, so I'll speed it back up. It should be okay, but normally I don't have to do any cleanup on these. Now I will. As you see, there's some soot. All right, so we got some blowback, but honestly, the engraving looks great. It's not too deep. It's even, and if I take my one good thumbnail, run it in there, yeah, it's deep, but it's not too deep. It's not past the leatherette and into the foam, so we'll clean that up, call that good. We'll do the next name. I got 5 or 6 of these to do, and let me set that one up real quick, and then I'll show you about the auto or the smart pathing. All right, so I've got that set up. Next one, it looks like Lorelei. I'm guessing that's how you pronounce that. And I went ahead and put the speed back up to 500. I left the LPC at 200, so we'll see if that's enough to clean up that little goop that we had before and not give us as much soot. But what I was talking about down here, if you go into process, hit this little button over here, now we see the process path is set to auto planing. You can also do evade smoke. I don't have a problem with smoke getting in the way, so we won't do that. But if we click this and we go to user define, then you'll see down here smart. Click that. What that's going to do, and hit the X. So what that's going to do, as you'll notice, one, it's going to dramatically reduce the time, and instead of the laser going here to there to there to there, right, to get these pieces, it's just gonna do the top line. It's gonna go over here, then bottom, then and then it's gonna go through and jump around instead of traveling over the whole thing, and that saves a lot of time. And usually it gives you a better engraving too because of beam intensity, right? And we won't get into that now, but those of y'all that may not know, with the Galvo lasers, if you go over a little small area, you get higher beam intensity than going like this, which will give you more accurate, true to your settings engraving than going back and forth, right? Like you notice if you run a test grid, you got little tiny squares and those look great, and then you do a big engraving where it's traveling the whole thing and it's not quite the same. That's due to beam intensity, but there's a lot of information about that. Maybe I'll do a video about that one day. I don't have all the smarts on it, but someone out there does, that can explain that way better than me. But basically, it's beam intensity. So think of it that way. All right. So anyway, we go good. We hit process. And look, now we're down to 13 seconds instead of a minute and whatever it was before. So this is going to go back to being nice and stupid fast, which is what we like. All right, close that because we're doing blue light. I don't do the IR on these leatherette. It works better with the blue light. So we're good. Hit the button. And there she goes. Like I said, doing that top layer. Now doing the sides. Over there, doing the side. And they're going to go and do the name pieces. Perfect. Look at that. Stupid, ridiculous fast. No cleanup. Going back to 500 was good. Nice engraving. Perfect. None of that little stuff we saw on the first time. So all I had to do from the original default settings was up the LPC from 120 to 200. I kind of like it around 200 to 220 anyway on most everything I do. So there you go, boys and girls. Perfect little patch. I'll knock the other ones out. And just another sample of the power of this little xTool F2. Imagine you have a bunch of these pre-cut, right? I mean, you can cut on this, but, and I'll do one later just to show you guys on another video, but I prefer to cut them out in bulk, a whole sheet at a time, and get a bunch of these. But imagine you're taking this to an event, right? And you want to do this on site. You got a little portable hat press, you got little beanies with you, you got a bunch of these, someone comes up, yeah, my name's Bob. All right, Bob, you throw it down, engrave it, takes 13 seconds, press it, takes 20 seconds, boom, you're done. So, pretty awesome. You'll notice too when the adhesive backing, clear, whatever, that stupid sheet is on there, it's kind of bowed, right? So when you throw it down, it's not flat. What I do is I just peel it off. You don't need to protect the glue layer, you know, I mean, it's going to go right on the patch here soon, so it's not like it's going to get ruined. There's no danger. I mean, it's not tacky. It doesn't do anything until it gets hot. So you don't have to leave that protective layer on the whole time, and that helps these things lay flat. And then you just squish it a little bit, back the opposite direction, boom, now she's flat. So there you go, a couple little lessons all in one. Take it easy. Bye.